So, I'm watching Love is Blind for the first time. Um, it's another dating show, something I don't talk about often. But with my love for Love Island season 6, I'm chasing that feeling. I'm chasing that feeling that Love Island season 6 gave me. You know, Big Brother, it's been a much improved season. The cast, at least, has been one of the better casts of Big Brother in a long time. But it's just not given what Love Island season 6 was given. And it's not that I think Love is Blind is going to give what Love Island was given either, but it's just something new to talk about as well. I have never seen a minute of this show ever. This is my first time watching it. We're 7 seasons in. Have seen none of the first 6 seasons. Barely know the concept coming in here. So these are just my first thoughts ever in watching this series of Love is Blind. The concept is interesting where they don't get to see each other. They can only talk to each other to try and form feelings and connections that way, so it's not like a physical attraction. So then I guess the theory is that it will be more than just a physical attraction. I personally would not be able to do this, I don't think. I'm a shallow Libra moon. It's not that I need physical attraction, but the physical attraction, in my opinion, is important. I don't really care what people say. I do think it is important. Not to say that you can't catch feelings on an emotional level this way, the way the concept of this show is doing it. But for me personally, that's just how I feel. But let's get into season 7. I got some notes on some of these people. I'm only talking episode 1 today. That's all I've watched so far. I know a lot of episodes come out at one time, but I'm just going to take it probably an episode at a time. Maybe some days I'll talk about more than one episode, but for now it's just one episode. Per usual, to anybody that's seen my channel before, or any of you new viewers watching me talk about a new show, I like people in reality shows that have either a big personality that's entertaining, or of course a dramatic personality that's also still big. Either way, I like a big personality. 2 people that stood out most, one woman, one guy with their big personalities, was Ashley A and Nick D. We will start, I guess, with Nick D. I felt like Nick, as a fellow Nick, I get why in this very first episode, the person he was most interested in, Hannah, I believe, still learning their names, I understand why they didn't work out. They kind of burnt out quick, at least in this first episode, the way it ended. Nick has this big personality, but it's one of those personalities that are like very flirty, very, as the kids would say, F-boy type shit, I guess some would say. I think that's just the way he's always probably dated. But I think where he got lost, especially with the whole Hannah situation, is that you're in this experiment to not see each other, but he was still talking about looks a lot. And excited to see Hannah in a bikini, and excited to see what Hannah looks like, thinking she's this drop-dead gorgeous model. I think where Nick went wrong is that in all the conversations with this experiment, he kept everything on a very surface level. He was still talking about surface level stuff, which makes me believe that Nick D, is much like me in that attraction plays a big part in his relationships. He's saying that's why he's on the show in the first place, because he wants something different for his relationships. And I understand that. But I just think that, yeah, the way he went about his conversations with Hannah, I understand why Hannah did what she did and told Nick straight up, there's a gut feeling about him that she's not liking, and that it kind of pushed Nick to end things with her very quickly, it seemed. It's episode 1. I don't know how quick this show goes, but that seemed pretty quick to me that in one episode, a potential couple is already dumping each other. So yeah, that was the first couple to talk about. Ashley A is connecting with, I believe his name is Tyler. Ashley A just has not only entertaining personality, she's witty, funny, but it comes across that she is very easy to talk to. And I think that's what Tyler enjoys about her. And what she enjoys about Tyler is that Tyler's not afraid to open up and be vulnerable, which is what happened a lot in episode 1 in their conversations. I like them. I would say as of right now, they're definitely my favorites, because every other couple that we're going to talk about, at least the couples that had a lot of airtime, there was somebody in each of those couples outside of this one that was annoying or that was clearly not doing well in that relationship, in my opinion. Where Ashley and Tyler are, there's no drama with them yet, which is a good thing, I think. I think they're having deep conversations while also being able to keep it flirty. And to me, that's chemistry, baby, even if there's not a physical attraction. So I am very interested to see what transpires between those two. Tyler was nervous when they first started talking. Another thing that Ashley liked about him, he did say that he's not used to this in a relationship. He's saying that most of his relationships are kind of shallow, and he's not able to open up. But I guess with this, he is able to open up. He's saying that physical attraction is important to him, though. So when they meet, I guess, will that attraction be there? I guess that's part of the show. I don't know. This is my first time watching it, like I said, so I'll find out how it actually works as we go along here. But on this, communication level, I think they communicate together very well, and there is a chemistry where their communication is so good on them. I do like them so far. Now, Leo, I guess, was another big character in this first episode. He was one of my least favorite things about the episode. I felt like they were trying to make him almost the main part of the episode, because I guess they're trying to allude that he's going to bring drama or something. I don't see it in his personality. I don't think his personality is great to watch, and it's actually quite grating. His personality is the only two things I know about him from this first episode, from all of his conversations that he had, and he got a lot of airtime, is that he is blessed to be born into a lot of money, and he's an art dealer and makes a lot of money, but he doesn't want a relationship with someone that only sees him for his money. But that's mostly what he talks about with the women, is his money and his career. His edit, at least to me, made me not like him. And I'm not interested to see where he goes from here. So him kind of being the main person in the first episode is definitely my biggest gripe with the first episode, because I ain't feeling him. He is another person connecting with Hannah, and at first it seemed like they were kind of setting up a quad triangle, a good old soap opera staple, with Nick and Hannah, and then Leo's also into Hannah, and Hannah's into Leo, but there's also this other woman named Brittany who's into Leo, and Leo's into her. Brittany is coming across like a gold digger. That's the storyline they seem to be building. Because here's Leo, who only talks about his money and his job, saying that he doesn't want a woman who only sees him for his money. But Brittany is saying she just wants to be a trophy wife. She wants to find a man that will take care of her. They did have a conversation about, like, are they expected to pay 50-50 in a relationship? Or does she want to be taken care of? And to me, in that conversation between Leo and Brittany, it did come across as though Brittany was saying that she wants to be taken care of. Or pretty much for the most part. I mean, she's telling Leo, in my last relationship, I was taken care of. So if Leo is what he says he is, that should have been a big red flag. If he doesn't want to date somebody that's only into him for his money, should that not have been a red flag? But it didn't seem to be that big of a red flag to Leo. So, yeah, Leo is a big contradiction to me. Don't like him. I find him to be grating. Right now, it went from a quad to a triangle because the Hannah and Nick thing didn't seem to work out in episode 1. So now it's kind of a triangle between Nick, Hannah, and Brittany, which kind of has Hannah regretting the conversation she had with Nick because Brittany's clearly into Leo too. So I guess where this is concerned, we'll have to find out what Leo actually does. Does he truly not want somebody that only wants him for his money, even though that seems to be what Brittany is saying? Or is he going to actually want Hannah, who he seems to think he is able to have deeper conversations with, because Hannah doesn't just talk about his job with him. Between the two, the thing that got on my nerves with Hannah, and this is probably going to annoy people, but whatever, it's my channel, my opinion, and I always say what I feel on this channel. It is what it is. Hannah's going on and on, especially with the whole Nick thing that she didn't like about the Nick connection, because he's always talking about her looks. She's saying she wants to be more than just her beauty, and that, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think Hannah's not that hot. Hannah's not that good looking. I think she's very plain. And I'm not trying to be mean, but she was going on and on about her looks and how she wants to be more than just a beauty to Nick. And maybe it was actually insecurity of Hannah because she's afraid of what Nick's actually going to think of her when they meet each other. That's kind of what it came across to me, is that she's insecure with the way she looks. So Nick going on and on about wanting to see her in a bikini, was it because she was actually just turned off by that because he's talking about looks a lot, or is she just insecure with the way she looks? We'll find out about that. Brittany is the more conventionally attractive of the two, Hannah and Brittany. So I'm just interested to see, I guess, where that quad triangle goes. I think I'm more disappointed that it's not a quad triangle after episode 1, because the triangle is less interesting to me with just Leo, Brittany, and Hannah than it would be if Nick was still involved with it, because I don't find Leo interesting. I find him grating, but whatever. One more couple to talk about before I end my first review episode ever of Love is Blind, and it is the one that annoyed me the most, and that is Garrett and Taylor. They connected over being intellectuals, both being like scientists. They seem to connect a lot right off the bat there. Where it went wrong is Taylor not wanting to tell Garrett her mother's name because it would reveal her ethnicity, because she is Asian, and I think she has a fear or insecurity that Garrett is used to dating white women. And then Garrett goes and says, yeah, I'm used to dating only white women. But then he tried to like flip it on Taylor, and it really annoyed me, saying that she's basically like slow to communicate, and it's like because she's too methodical in what she's going to say. Garrett was basically making her feel like she's not being genuine with what she's saying, when I think she was being very genuine in her concern. And then Garrett saying, oh yeah, I'm only used to dating white women, it's kind of a red flag for Taylor, I think. And I think that's very fair. The way he said it, I don't like Garrett, because to try and turn it on Taylor, because I don't know. I just felt like Garrett was caught in a truce that he's only dated white women, and now he's learning that Taylor's not white. And instead of just owning it and letting her continue to be vulnerable about her concern, he then tries to flip it on her and say that she's being methodical and it's making him feel some kind of way. Didn't love it. Hope she sees that as a red flag. Garrett, as much as Leo is grating, Garrett was definitely my least favorite of the episode. But whatever the reason was, this conversation between Garrett and Taylor was the biggest red flag of the episode. You know, Hannah went on and on about her red flags with Nick, but to me, this one is so much bigger. And Leo should have red flags with Brittany, who is clearly a gold digger. But even beyond that, this was just a big red flag for me. I don't know what it was. It could have been some of the editing, sure. But it was a very awkward and comfortable conversation to witness. And I just felt like Garrett was 100% in the wrong, because he has the insecurity too, but he's trying to flip it to make Taylor seem even more insecure, with her just concerned that Garrett's not going to be used to dating outside his race, which she's right about. And yeah, Garrett's not prepared for that. Not a big fan of that couple at all. I mean, I'll give them a chance. I'll give Garrett one more chance. But the editing in this episode, he has a huge thumbs down from me.